Another beautiful Saturday to come your way with another episode of the Steady Abroad podcast. We are live on TikTok. This is the Steady Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. We do this every Saturday when it is 5:30 GMT. So whichever country you find yourself in, 5:30 GMT, tune in. And this is the platform where we help you prepare to study abroad. So, whatever qualification you are, there's always a university outside or a college outside, an institution, a higher education institution outside that would admit you. So, if you're done with WASI, you have a diploma, if you have a bachelor's degree, you need to tune in this and every Saturday. And this year, that's what we'll be doing. At the beginning of the podcast, we will answer all your questions you have. So you request and join us live in the studio. And most importantly, because people, one of the challenges that comes with wanting to study abroad is the finances. We try to provide avenues, means, and ways that would reduce the cost that you have to incur when you want to study abroad. So one of the ways of doing this is that there are some institutions, universities that have ways and means of waiving an application fee. Now, we explain to you how you could get some of these application fee waivers so that it will reduce the cost you have to incur when you want to study abroad. And then later on, we'll respond to your study abroad questions. You might have some specific questions. Your situation may be peculiar. So we'll respond to those questions. And then there are individuals who have been through the process. So what we do is that we invite them to share their experience, their journey, how they apply to the universities they are. Do they have scholarship? How did they get their visas approved and all that? They share this with you. It would inspire and motivate you and direct you on the path you have to take to get yours approved as well. My name is Fred. This is the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. So let's start with the application fee waivers for this week. Last week we shared some of them. Last 2 weeks we shared some of them. So if you are missing the episode, and mostly the reason why you need to subscribe so that you get the notification is that most of these waivers we share have deadlines. And so if you miss the deadline, it means that you cannot apply them. All right. So let's share the first one and then we get started. So today we are starting with New York. There's a university in a city called Buffalo. Remember last week we shared one from New York as well. It's called Rochester University. If you didn't check that episode, please do. So this is what we call the university at Buffalo. I explained that there's something we call this university system. So this is part of what we call the State University of New York. So the State University of New York has a lot of universities under them, and one of them is the University at Buffalo. And the University of Buffalo is waiving application fees for a week for the School of Engineering. And so I'm going to share that with you. They have about 43 programs under that school. So when you go to the academic section, we are going to select the schools and colleges, right? When we click on the schools and colleges, then we go and search for the School of Engineering. So it's called School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. So under the schools, there are a lot of colleges as well. So there's School of Architecture and Planning, School of Art. This is to explain to you that there are a lot of other programs you can target. So there's a School of Planning and Architecture and Planning. There's a College of Arts and Sciences. There's a School of Dental Medicine, the Graduate School of Education, if you want to pursue education programs, School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, the School of Law, those who are interested in law, School of Management, Jacobs School of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, there's School of Nursing, School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, School of Public Health and Health Professions, and the School of Social Work. There's also the Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center Graduate Division. So the school that is actually waiving the application fee now is the School of Engineering and Applied Science. So we click on that. Now, under the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, we go to the website. So if we click on the website, they are boldly written here that there's a free application weeks. So apply to one of our 43 graduate programs. So when the programs are 43, there could be one for anybody, right? So they were waiving the application fee from December 28th, 2025 to January 10th, 2026, which means today is the deadline. So that's why I told you that mostly if you miss what we be sharing, it means that you miss the deadlines and stuff like that. So if you've not subscribed, if you've not followed, click on the follow button right now, be part of the family. And then so that anytime we share scholarships, application fee waivers and other good things, you wouldn't miss the deadline. It's very important that you do that. Now let's click on that. So when we click on that, okay. So when we click on that, normally it will open in another tab. So let me share this tab with you. When you click on it, this is what you see. It's a free application weeks from December 28th, 2025 to January 10th. So if you submit your application today, and this is the good thing, that mostly the reason why you might not be able to submit your application instantly is because of the document involved. But when it comes to just completing the application, entering your name, your phone number, your address, the school you graduated from, and all that, you can easily do it. The good thing is that you can work on the application and submit it. Later on, the portal will give you an opportunity to upload your CV, to upload your SOP, to upload your transcript one after the other. So the trick here is that you do not necessarily have to have all these documents together. You check the deadline of the program you want to apply to. Make sure you take advantage of the fee waiver week and submit it. Then later on, you can take your time and be uploading the document one after the other. Sometimes you can easily email the document to the graduate admissions team and they will add it to your application package for you. So that is it. Let's share the next one. The next one, this is the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. I wanted to confirm if the School of Business is also waiving that, the School of Management rather, is also waiving that. But at the moment, it's the Graduate School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. Remember, they have a lot of other programs. If you apply to any of those programs, like maybe the School of Education, the other schools, you may be required to pay an application fee. However, we've also explained how you could get an application fee waiver. You can attend a webinar, you can send an email to ask for a waiver. So if this school is a great school, if you identify a program there, but unfortunately they are not waiving, you can have other means of getting them to waive it for you so that the burden of application fee is taken off if you want to study abroad. All right, let's go to the next school. The next university is the University of Scranton. So let me share that quickly. So from New York, we are moving all the way to the University of Scranton. And I'm going to explain how you're going to get the waiver. This is very simple. And this goes to all the programs they have. And interestingly, they have amazing programs that you can target. So the University of Scranton, I want to tell you where they are located. So the University of Scranton is located in the state of Pennsylvania, and the city is called Scranton, SCRANTON. So the University of Scranton. So they are waiving the application fee for all the programs. So immediately you click on any of the programs, it tells you that there is no fee to apply. So it's clearly indicated here. And these are all the programs that I'm quickly going to go through for you. So if you visit their website, which is where you can see all the graduate programs, when you click on any of them, it takes you directly to, so I'm currently showing that of chemistry, but when you go to any of their graduate programs, if you click on all programs, let's do that. If you click on all programs, so these are all the programs they have. All you need to do is to scroll through and identify the ones that you're interested in. So there's accountancy, there's business administration, there's also counseling, clinical mental health, there is health administration, there is health informatics, they have software engineering, they have a lot of programs. So for example, if we should click on maybe any of the business administration, you click on the view program information. If you click on the view program information, it takes you directly to the program website. The initial one I showed was chemistry. Now this is the business administration. When you scroll down, it tells you that apply for free. So it's boldly written there. You see that of the chemistry, it was shown in a small way. When you go there, it said there is no fee to apply. However, if you go to that of the business, they say apply for free. So all the programs, when you click on that, it tells you that you can submit your application for free. Now, listen, people make an argument that, the application fee, when you use application fee means that you're not going to get a scholarship. Listen, every university waives application fee. Sometimes international students do not qualify for the application fee waiver, but mostly if you you fall under a certain category. For example, in the US, if you're a military personnel, if you're a family of military personnel, most universities will waive application fee for you. Just like being in a plane, right? The same seat closer to you, someone might have paid $10 for it. You might have paid $1,000 for it. So somebody getting an application fee waiver does not necessarily mean they will not get scholarship. There is a way to go about it when you want to get a scholarship. The universities I showed does not necessarily mean that all of them are going to give you scholarship. This is what you're going to do. When you identify a program, for example, at the University of Buffalo Engineering Department or the Scranton University, any of the programs, get the email address of the HOD you want to talk, who is in charge of the program. Send them an email. Share a copy of your CV and your transcript. Ask them, as an international student, can you apply? Would you be considered for assistantship or maybe a scholarship? Now, if they reply and give you a positive response, remember, you've gotten an application fee waiver and then you're going to get scholarship as well. So don't assume that automatically once I shared, it gives scholarship. There is an argument that, it raises competition and all that. Listen, how many people have engineering background to apply to engineering programs in the first place? And, how many people, will apply to the same engineering program you'll be applying to? Take advantage of some of these opportunities and don't focus on the negativity. You would absolutely be fine. So let's now answer questions. I'll bring my co-host in, and then we have a full house today, and I'm happy to have everybody in. Ben, how are you doing?
Yeah, Fred, everything is fine. Thank you. On your side?
I'm okay. How is the UK?
Yeah, by His grace, everything is fine. I think we are now in the negatives, but we are coping.
When you say negatives, what does it mean?
I mean the weather.
Oh, okay. You have to explain. When you say negatives, you have to explain. We also have Miss Hetty on. Hi, Miss Hetty. How you doing?
Hi, Fred. I'm well. How about you?
I'm good. Welcome back. Do you want to talk about it?
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Arabi is also. Why are you guys in glasses though? What's happening? What's happening?
Oh, well, Fred, I've been in glasses for a while.
It's making
but
you.
Fred, you.
It's making you guys look sweet. How you doing, Arabi?
I'm taking it one day at a time, Fred.
Yeah.
So, things have changed. Levels don't change, but don't say it here. Levels don't change, so I'm combining a whole lot of things. But it's been awesome. It's been awesome. I'm taking it one day at a time.
Miss Hetty, tell us about Ghana. What's happening in Ghana?
Vibes, energy, good food, still the same.
I see. It's
expensive. Things have become expensive.
So like Gobe, it's like what, 10 cities now or what?
Fred, have you seen that buff roads that they sell in traffic?
It used to be like 50 pesos or something.
That's 5 cities. 5 cities. Oh, 5
wow.
Cities. 5 cities. I mean yogurt.
Both 5 cities.
Yogurt is now 4 cities, 50 pesos. So yogurt is now 4 cities.
Oh, really?
Yes. So please, see how the Ghana no so bobo.
Yogurt on bechebiamo and omunchamo.
Hey, 4, 5.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Hot. Yeah.
All right. So we'll be responding to people's questions, and our guests will come and we'll continue. Today we have a full house. I'm super happy. We've never had a lot of people on this today. Dennis Atobam. I don't know if I'm getting your name right. Dennis, how you doing, sir? You have to unmute your microphone if you want to speak to us. So we are sharing the link in the comment section. Just requests come on. Ben is in the UK. Miss Hetty is in the DMV. Arabi is around somewhere. Fred is also in the US. So we'll be responding to your questions if you have any. Just request and come on. We miss Atobam. Atobam, I don't know if your network is bombing, but it's all good. You can request and come on. So Miss Hetty, has the semester started? We have issues of people not getting visa interview dates and all that. So if people are applying, are they still going to get dates in the first place?
So from my end, the semester hasn't started. It's going to start on the 26th of January. So they're still in. From what I know at the moment, the international office is still sending out emails, which includes all kinds of international students supposed to come in this year, to still be on the lookout for dates because the semester hasn't started. But if you're able to secure one, just let them know and they'll help you defer your admission to the next academic year if there need be.
I see. And Arabi, how is it like as a student, and now going to work? How is the transition like?
I would say the transition wasn't tough for me because my graduate assistantship practically is the same thing I'm doing for my full-time job. So it's like being in the same field, but taking up higher responsibilities now. So it hasn't been so challenging. However, since it's a full-time job, it has its own challenges. Now, I mean, this Christmas I didn't get a break. I just got Christmas holidays, the 25th and the 1st January. But when
I
I was a
see.
graduate assistant, I had the full vacation time for myself. So I had made plans to travel and all of that until I was told, hey, this is a full-time job. Yeah, I just getting 25th. And I was like, oh no, I thought I have about 2 weeks for myself. So,
Yeah.
and apart from that, now you are the face of a building. Initially, I was a graduate assistant, so I was hiding behind my supervisor. But now I am in charge of an entire building and everything, whether it goes right or wrong, your face is attached to whatever is happening. So these are some of the things that are happening. I think it's just taking up more roles from what we were doing previously, but I haven't really diverted from what I was doing. Because in my
Oh.
graduate assistantship, I was assistant complex director, and now I am the complex director. So it's just like taking up more roles for the same tasks that you were doing, kind of.
So, what people classify as postgraduate work permit. When do you have to start applying for these jobs? Because you're maybe somebody's about to graduate in May. When would they have to start applying for the jobs?
So I actually had about 3 interviews before this for people who had started already and they are going to graduate in May. I started mine in November. That is the previous year of my graduation. I started
Oh,
early because I wanted to get, as an international student, you are kind of already this
you
privilege.
will go on, but before you do that, so if the person is going to graduate 2026 May, you mean
Mhm.
that you started 2025 November,
November, yeah,
first searching for jobs?
yes.
Okay.
So when I started, and my first interview was somewhere ending of November 2025. That was my first
Mm.
interview. I did about maybe over 50 interviews. So my first interview was that. So if you are certain that it's a job field that you are going in and you are graduating in May 2025, I think by now you should have started. If you haven't started yet,
Mm.
it's not too late, but the best time again to start is now. So start putting your application, putting in your resources, and yeah, because the job market is it's on your it is what it is. So if you start
How
early,
were you able to get a full-time job when people say that if you're an international student, getting a job is difficult? Was it difficult for you? Would you say it was easy? How would you describe your experience?
I wouldn't say it was easy, neither would I say it was difficult. It was a
Mm.
process, and it takes dedication, consistency, and perseverance to get there. It's not going to be handed over to you on a silver platter. You have to be consistent with the application. You have to know your onions. And the more you do the interview, the more you get better at it. I would say my first interview I did in November, and then that was 2020. The previous year, that was 2023. I graduated in 2024, right? Hey, no, I graduated in 2025. So my first interview was 2024. It was a bomb.
Right.
I felt so bad. However, as I kept on doing the interview, I realized that, oh, now I'm getting better at it. So if your first interview doesn't go well, it's okay. Just keep doing it, keep pushing, because the more you do it, the more you get better at it. And then I applied to a similar role. I applied to all RHD positions. Like all my positions were RHD, hall director, all of that position. So the question at a point became it was like a competition. Sorry, what do you call what word
Again,
am I using? It was
repetition.
competitive or
Mm-hmm.
competition
Was it
repetition.
repetition?
Sorry, repetition. That's the
Yeah.
word I was. Yeah, it was repetition. So you get better at it as the interviews go by. So start as early as possible, and make sure you put in your OPT application also in term. Do it early. So when I got my OPT card somewhere March, so and my start date was July, so I was a little bit relaxed that okay, now I have my card. So if I get a if I get an offer in July, I'll be able to start. So if you put in the application early, I didn't pay for premium. I paid for the normal one because I started early. So you start early,
Okay.
and as a Christian, I'll say pray and do your best.
Let's explain to people. So what Arabi is trying to say is that after she graduated from her 2 years master's degree, the OPT is optional practical training, which we call the postgraduate work permit, and so she has to start applying for jobs. So listen, you are combining your assistantship work with trying to write your thesis with searching for jobs at the same time.
Was doing my capstone at the same time.
Yeah.
And I would say that it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. But just as I said previously, it takes a level of commitment, consistency, perseverance to know this is what I want. I think at a point, what it also makes people delay is they don't know what they want, whether they're going to do a second master's, they're going to do PhD, they're going to the job. I knew what I wanted. It was a job. So I didn't do PhD. Well, I did one or two PhD applications, but my focus was a job. So that was what I was focused on. So if you know what you want, sometimes most international students, why they delay is they don't even know what the next step is. If they want another master's and all of that. So get to know what exactly you want by November, and then you put in all your energy into what you want. And then with the grace of God and the help of God, you might be able to find something to do.
All right. If you are just tuning in, we are speaking with Miss Hetty. Ben is here, and then Arabi as well. But Ben, talk to us right now. If you graduate from a university in the UK, especially for your masters, do you have a postgraduate work permit? How many months do you have? In the US, if it is a non-STEM program, it's a year. If a STEM program, it's 3 years. Talk to us about the UK. How does it work?
Okay, so with regards to the UK, when you complete, you can join the postgraduate route, and I think before this year it used to be 24 months, which is equivalent to 2 years. But now it's going to be 18 months. That is 1 year, 6 months. But when we started the application, what we realized was that if you want to stay for 1 year, 6 months, it depends on the amount of money you have to pay. And then if you want to stay for like 2 years, it also depends on the amount of money you want to pay. So what it means is that the government has not totally scrapped the 2 years postgraduate route at the moment, but it depends on which one you want for yourself. So that's what the system is telling us as it stands now. So right now, you can still opt for your 2 years postgraduate route visa when you are done. And of course, the options are open for you. But one thing is that if maybe you may be graduating this year and you want to apply for the postgraduate route visa, then my advice to you is that please try as much as possible to get your driver's license before you graduate, because sometimes it will surprise you. You ask for you see job application and the only requirement is driver's license, and you ask yourself, what are they doing with my certificate?
Yeah,
and that's okay for you, because some of the jobs don't really place much requirements when it comes to the educational qualification. So they look at basic requirements like driver's license and other few things, and you are good to go. So please, if you are studying or you are aiming to come to study in the UK and you have in mind to enter the postgraduate route visa, make sure that you don't joke with your driver's license. If not,
you spoke about a certain amount you have to pay. So what do you mean by it depends on the amount you
it depends, yes. So for instance, if you want the 2 years postgraduate route visa,
Mhm.
I think it's roughly 3,000. It's almost 3,000 pounds.
So
And then
that is the fee required. Is that what you mean?
fee requirement, yes. So you
Oh,
have to
wow.
pay before you can get your postgraduate route visa. So it's
Okay.
not like automatic.
Let's compare that. So, Arabi, you mentioned the OPT. There is a normal standard of applying. So, if you want to, if you finish with your studies in the US, you need to apply for the optional practical training. And you mentioned that there is an expedited amount. There is a normal amount. How much is the normal amount? I don't know if you know about the expedited amount too.
Hmm. Fred, I think I've forgotten, but it was
Okay.
somewhere for 400 something, and then the
Um.
expedited amount is 1,600 and something, almost
Oh.
5 days. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But so Ben, talk to us about that. So you said the 2 years is how much? 3,000 pounds.
Yes, 3,000 pounds.
So Arabi, I want to understand. You are a graduate assistant. You are receiving stipends. So likely you'll be able to get $400 to apply for an OPT. But Ben, if as a student in the UK, how do you get 3,000 pounds to pay for postgraduate work permit? And the job you're going to get, is it going to pay you the amount you used to apply?
Yeah, so what happens is that you are going to work full time. Even if you want to work 100 hours a week, you are permitted.
Hmm. I see.
Yes, so
All right.
yes, so yeah.
Interesting conversation. So the dynamics works differently when you, depending on the country you want to study. We keep on explaining that the study abroad route is different depending on the country you want to go. So if you want to go to Belgium, Germany, UK, US, Canada, the process is different. So choose the country you want to go to, and then you get information about how the whole process works and all that. Our guest is in, so we get started. Hi Fidelia, how are you doing?
Hi, Mr. Fred. I'm good. How about you?
I'm okay. I like your hair. Is it,
Oh,
is
thank
it
you.
specifically for this podcast, or that's how you do it normally?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I've been watching some of your TikTok videos, interesting character and all that. Thank you for making
Well,
time to join us. We have Miss Hetty here. Ben
thank
is in the
you.
UK. Arabi is our senior professional. So yeah. Maybe we should start with Arabi. Arabi, we have Fidelia. Let's go. I'll be at the background. I'll be giving you moral support.
Okay.
Thank you, Fred, for the intro. Hi, Fidelia. How are you?
Hi, RB. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing so well. Just as Fred said, I have also been watching some of your TikToks. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
okay.
really?
So I know you. I have been watching your TikTok, but can you briefly introduce yourself to our audience, your name, and what you're currently doing?
Yeah, so my name is Fidelia, and I'm currently a master's student at University of New Haven, and I think I'm in my final semester actually. I'm doing my master's in chemistry. So yeah, basically I'm in my final semester. I'll be graduating in May. So yeah, that's basically me. And I'm originally from Ghana. Yeah, I'm originally from Ghana. I came here in 2024 in the fall. Yeah. So it's been like a year and a half almost since I've been here. So yeah, basically.
So this semester is basically your final semester.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's mixed feelings actually. And as an international student, I can only be happy that at least finally some of the school stress, assignment stress is going to be over very soon. Well, I hope. And also, I'm still also anticipating postgraduate, plans. And that is also something to worry about. So it's like a mixed feelings. I'm happy I'm graduating, but I also don't know what lies ahead of me, even though I'm positive and everything. Yeah, so it's like I'm happy at the end of the day, I've achieved something, but then again, I'm also anticipating what the future holds for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as somebody who was also in your shoes not long ago, I know what it feels. It's a cocktail of emotions. You might not know whether excited for the completion, but anxious and nervous for what is ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you live? I think you talked about being in New Haven, but where do you live exactly, and how long have you been there? Is it your first institution? Have you had previous? Have you lived elsewhere before coming to New Haven?
No, I came straight from Ghana, so it's like this is my first time actually living here in Connecticut. So I live in West Haven. My school is located in West Haven, so I live like 10 minutes away from campus. I commute, so I live in West Haven, and yeah, what University of New Haven is the school I've been to since I've been in the U.S. And yeah, so far so good.
Which
Yeah,
state is that in?
Connecticut. Sorry, I
Oh,
think
okay.
I forgot. I'm in Connecticut. Yeah.
Okay. Any fun facts you want to share about you to our audience?
Yeah. Okay, this might be out of the academic. I think I'm
Sure.
somebody that really loves spoilers. I really love movie spoilers. I don't mind googling the plot of a movie when I'm watching. I don't mind googling what will happen next, and I'll still enjoy the movie just as much. So I think I'm somebody that loves spoilers, and also I love watching comfort shows like Modern Family, Big Bang Theory. Like yeah, those. I think that is some of the fun facts about me.
So masters in that's like two opposite roles. Masters in chemistry, being a spoiler, loving family shows and all of that. Okay, so how do you combine all of that, your fun facts, your masters in chemistry and everything as an international student? Do you even get
Well,
time to watch those videos and those movies you are talking about?
no, I mean,
Hey, this one there.
I mean, you're an international student, so you should know that whom I'm talking about. Between school, work, and you have to. I feel like you always have to find time to do these things because if you say you're going to follow the stress of school life, you're not going to do anything. You are going to be drenched in academic work all the time. Because one thing I realized about being an international student or being a student in the US is you never have a free time, especially if you are a STEM major like me. You always have something on your board. So if you don't like schedule yourself to prioritize everything or maybe like make time for everything, you are not going to have this full experience. You're just going to be school, 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 school. So I try as much as possible to do a bit of everything, even though the academic will take most of your time and everything. And I'm also a lab assistant, so most of the time if I'm not in class, I'm in the lab. So you always have to, even though it's hard, it's up till now, I haven't really figured out like how I was able to even do it. But you always have to find a balance between everything. Yeah.
That's very important. I mean, as international students, if you don't intentionally create time to do things
Yes.
you love, the system will just push you to just do academics, academics,
I
academics. And by
know.
the way, by the time you realize 2 years is here, I didn't do anything outside my academics and I'm just stuck with my books and everything. So it's very important that
Exactly.
as an international student you make time, deliberate
Mm-hmm.
to do other things that you enjoy doing. Thank you for sharing
Especially,
that. Ben,
especially.
would you want to go ahead with
Yeah, I wanted to add something too. And even
okay,
apart
sure.
from like the academics alone, you should find time to even socialize with even people outside of your race, not only talking to maybe African students. You have to find time because I feel like it's the whole experience. You don't want to complete the school and be like, oh, I was only in class and it was class, home, lab, work, and everything. You have to get a bit of every experience because you never know in this country you never know who might you might need something or who might give this information to you, and if you decide to be an island, well, that's very bad. So you have to fight. It's hard, but you have to do it. You have to.
Yeah, that's where we talk about networking in higher
Exactly.
education or the higher institution. It's very important,
Yeah.
especially as international students. You just don't limit yourself to your countrymen, Ghanaian, Africans. You have to
Yeah.
explore, network with other races because there's some information maybe your African group wouldn't have it, but other races
Yes.
would have it. And
You have it.
very important. Chrome has said everything is about information. The
Yeah.
more information you have, it gives you that leverage to do a lot of things
Yes.
for yourself.
Yes.
So
and
thank you
and
for
you are
sharing
like
that.
one information away from your breakthrough. Like it, just one information can like take you from 0 to 100. So it's like
Exactly.
imagine you not talking to anybody, being isolating yourself, limiting you are just limiting yourself. Like yeah, so it's very important to like step out of the academic zone and explore other things. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. We appreciate it. Ben,
Yeah, Arabi, thank you for the privilege. Fidelia,
Hmm.
if I don't know even the fact that you said you're originally from Ghana, I would have definitely asked you, where are you from? Because the accent is accent, you know.
Oh, I see.
I think I saw a comment. A comment here says Fidelia has been in the US for a few years and is already flying with the accent.
Oh,
Really?
It's accent,
really?
you know.
Then
Huh?
that is very unconscious, actually, because
No, we get it.
I've been
I understand.
influenced.
We understand. You're fine.
You know, the funny thing is, assistants, now me, I still say, yeah, and go my way. Sometimes I feel like I'm even wasting my, you people be
It's a whole
talking,
lot of work.
I can't figure out what they are trying to say. So I just say, oh, yes, okay, yeah,
I feel you.
All right, so just to get started, as usual, we just always want to know. We have so many countries, about 192 countries, and almost every country is giving scholarship, even including Ghana.
Yeah.
But you decided to go to the States. So the question would always be, why USA? What inspired you?
Well, I'll say I've always wanted to do my master's, not in Ghana, of course. And I always knew I wanted something more challenging, more exposure, research opportunities, and the whole academic environment. And as we all know, US has some of the best schools in the world, especially as someone who is a STEM major. I can only talk from the STEM point of view because I'm a STEM major. So when it comes to STEM, US is like the first, if not one of the best.
Fidelia, please, let me draw my attention to our audience. Please, what Fidelia is saying is almost the exact answer the visas officers want you to say. So don't just listen for listening. Try and then jot down something, because from the beginning of the answer is almost exactly what the visas officers want you to say, especially when they ask you the question, why USA? So this, what Fidelia is saying, might answer your visa interview question. Okay, continue, please.
Yeah, definitely more exposure, research opportunities, and they have some of the best facilities in the world. I mean, at times I'm even amazed. I'm like, my undergraduate, I didn't get an opportunity to see these things. Like, the exposure is great. So at the end of the day, and a degree from the US, you don't even have to live in everywhere. You are accepted and highly recognized. So it's like the US seemed like the best choice for me, honestly. So when I weighed my options, I'm like, you know what, US, and it's an English speaking country. I don't have to go and learn another language any again. You can fit in, right? Like, yeah. So I think that
Right from the get go.
right from the get go. Yeah.
Okay. So now thank you for answering. So now the another issue will also be, what in the first place also drive you to study abroad? Like you said, you have always had the passion. What is that passion? Is it that all your friends are studying abroad and you also want to go, or like it just came like, oh, a dream, I just want to go to abroad? Is that the case?
Definitely not a dream, but after my undergraduate, as I said, I've always wanted to do my master's, not in Ghana, of course. And academically, when I was in Ghana, I felt like I wasn't fulfilled enough. I felt like something was still missing. Like something is, I need to find this. And I think that was the right choice I made. Like that was what even pushed me, because I felt like academically I could do more. Was way back in my undergraduate, even though like that is one thing I feel like I didn't get the undergraduate experience very much. So I felt like, okay, then maybe let me opt for this option and choose this higher learning, and maybe I'll be academically fulfilled. So that is the reason why I even wanted to, apart from, yes, of course, the research opportunities and you exposing yourself and getting out of your comfort zone also. It's one of the reasons why academically I felt like I wasn't fulfilled. I wanted more.
Hey, then you like books, pal.
No, not even about books per se, but even outside of the books, in terms of like career wise, I wanted to elevate my career from like just being an undergrad and yeah, basically that it was that drive that actually And of course, Ghana too will be adding adding their own pressure on you. The salaries we were getting back home, it wasn't nothing to cry home about. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm just wasting my time, and let me just get going and see what this journey leads me to. So all of it played a major role in my decision.
All right. So at least we mentioned two major issues: the academic drive, the academic fulfillment, and then the economic hardship.
Yes.
Interesting.
Arabi, that cemented it for me. I'm like, I'm just wasting my time.
Arabi, was it the same drive that pushed you to the States?
In much my interview with Fred, I told Fred, I was even unemployed, so it was a hunger. I was like, you know what? I cannot do this again. I'm tired. That is why I think at a point I have stopped influencing people or pushing people to do study abroad, because there's a kind of hunger, not necessarily even food hunger, but you need that hunger in you, that drive to do it. If you don't have it, if you don't have that intrinsic motivation, all other motivation will just come and go. But the com is pushing you, the economic hardship is pushing you. Nobody would have to force you to do the study abroad. Especially when I've seen people who have done it and they are successful, very relative, successful quote and unquote, in their roles, and they are kind of okay. They were your mates, you saw them back home, and now they are kind of okay. And you're like, this can't be their life as a child of God. This can't be their life for me. I have to upgrade. There's a lot of things for me. So I can relate to what she's saying. It was practically the same thing for me. I had to move. I say a crowd or so and snap I couldn't So
yes. Yeah, and let me also one last thing. I also had people, especially in my field or in my course, that were also motivating me. Like people who were already here, especially some of my TAs. I really had a nice relationship with so many of them. So it's like they were also giving me that push. Or I feel like if you want to do anything and somebody is giving you that push, that encouragement, is also plays a very major role, because this study abroad journey is very hard, so you might even give up. So if you get somebody that is driving you, somebody that is encouraging you, it also helps. So fortunately for me, I had that, so I had no reason to give up.
That's an important aspect for the study abroad journey. Okay, Fred.
Yeah, if you just tune in, you're still live on the Study Abroad podcast with Fred Effect. Our guest today is Fidelia. Fidelia is sharing her experience as a full-time dancer and part-time student. But yeah, she has amazing dances on TikTok if you've not checked it out. And I'm surprised, like, as STEM students, I didn't know you were pursuing chemistry, even though I should have known, because I should know, like, you're pursuing chemistry. And and you still find time to have fun, and then just when people watch your TikTok, they might not assume that you're a chemistry student. Not at all.
I know, right?
She's sharing her experience going through the process from Ghana, and coming to study at University of New Haven, and how she was able to get her visa approved. My guest, my co-host is Arabi, and Ben is in the UK. Arabi is in the US. So remember that every Saturday when you join, you have to follow, you like, you share, you comment, you do all the good stuff. And at the end of the session, we end up selecting one person. You enter a draw, we select one person. The Fred Effect team will support to go through the process. We have partnership with Argo Visa. Argo Visa is a team of ex-visa officers who help people to prepare for the visa interview. They used to work at the embassies, and now they are retired, and they are using their time to support you who want to prepare for a visa interview. Getting an interview date now is a little bit challenging. So when you get a date, make sure you talk to an ex-visa officer before you go to the interview to talk to a visa officer. Use the link I'm sharing on the screen as rb.gy/ku72vb. Type it in your web browser, and then you follow the processes to schedule a meeting. Interestingly, they can review your DS-160 for you. Make sure you have a good DS-160 even before they have the one-on-one session to prep you for the visa interview. So that is Argo Visa. We know, if you have family members who also want to support you and they want to send you money, we have a good company to use, which is Lemfi. Lemfi. They don't have to go to Western Union to send you the money, so you go to bank. It can directly come to your bank account or your mobile money. All that you need to do is tell them to download Lemfi and use the code Arabi. Arabi is ARABEE. Now we can continue with the conversation.
Thank you, Fred Effect. We appreciate that. So you talked about coming to the US and all of that. Did you consider other countries? Did you apply to other countries, or you were like US or nothing?
Yeah. At a point, I wanted to add Canada. So during the application process, I wanted to add a little bit, like a couple of schools, but I realized that in Canada, the application system is totally different. You have to secure an advisor before so many things, and it was like I was already stressed with the US application. I'm like, you know what? Let me stick to the US. So I wanted to add it, but because of the application stress that came with the Canada application, I stopped. So I just stick with the US only. Yeah.
Okay, so now you just let go of whatever Canada is
Yeah.
offering, focus on US.
I let
So
go. I'm like,
while
let me.
focusing on US, did you apply to other universities as well, or just University of New Haven?
Yeah, my experience. I applied to a couple of schools too. I think I applied to Michigan Technological. Is it Technical or Technological University, and I think Western Illinois. I got admission to all the schools. It's just that all I got was partial funded. I don't know about me and partial funded, partial funded, partial funded. So I got admission for Western Illinois with I've forgotten the exact amount, but I got some sort of funding from and also Michigan as well. So I finally settled with University of New Haven because University of New Haven I had already spoken with a professor already who I'm working with now. I already spoken with him on his research, and his research actually aligned with my like very closely. So that is one of the reasons why I even ended up with University of New Haven. Because it's like the other schools, I reached out to the professors, but I didn't really get a positive feedback. So I'm like, you know what, let me go where I'm wanted. So that was one of the reasons why I chose University of New Haven. But yeah, Michigan and
Exactly.
Illinois. Yeah.
So you didn't choose my school.
What? Honestly, I wish I did. Maybe they would have given me a full ride. Which
you
school?
see, you see that? So you got Illinois University of
Western
Western Illinois.
Illinois.
That was
Yeah.
my school, and then Michigan. So
Oh,
yeah, you
oh, that's
abandoned my
nice.
school, and you're here. You not say anything. So you got partial funding from Illinois, Western Illinois, and then Michigan. Did you get full funding from New Haven? Or it was just because the professor's interest aligned with yours.
Yeah, I also got partial funding here. That's what I'm saying. I don't know me in partial. Yeah, and the fact that and the professor, of course, I'm working with, he showed interest in me, and he actually gave me the encouragement. Yeah, he encouraged me that once, even though they didn't fulfill their wish of giving me the full ride, once I get the visa and I come here, he's open to working with me. So because he was actually looking for a master student to work with on his project, and he has seen my project and it aligns with his, so he will be happy to welcome me. So I was like, you know what? Okay, then I'll choose University of New Haven. Yeah. And I
Okay,
really
so
love the state
three.
of Connecticut too. So maybe that's for some reason. Connecticut, the name sounded so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll love this state. And it's closer to New York, closer to Boston. So you get a little bit of, every yeah. So maybe that influenced my choice.
Okay, so three of them have partial funding, but you
Yeah.
had to choose one that aligned with your goals.
Yeah.
Let's just assume you got one that is fully funded but wasn't aligned with your interest. Would you have considered that?
Considering it now, I would have gone with the one that because of course the financial pressure that comes alone. I would have gone without it. I wouldn't even bat an eye. I would have gone with the one which is fully funded because the financial stress on international students alone is crazy. So imagine if you don't have a full ride scholarship. Even if you have a full ride scholarship, you still suffer financially. So now imagine having it's not been an easy journey. So if I was given a full ride, of course I would have gone with the one which didn't align with. I'll make sure maybe I'll make it work or something because it's better
You you align yourself.
because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. And okay, normally it wouldn't. It's not about not aligning completely. All the schools I chose and the professor that I professors I emailed, their research was one way or the other similar to mine, but not really far from, not really out of reach. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the University of New Haven one was very close to mine. Not like the others were far-fetched. Yeah. They were all in my area of interest, but just that the projects he was currently doing like closely aligned with mine. Yeah.
Okay. Perfectly understood. But did you get any denials, or was just three, all of them partial funding?
Yeah, I didn't get any denial. Yeah.
So it was just
they were-
three schools you got all partial funding.
Yes, yes.
Okay. That's interesting to know. Did you pay? I mean, people would be like, hey, three schools. Did you pay all application fees for all of them, or you got some waived, or what happened in your process?
Yeah, I think I got a waiver for University of New Haven, and I paid for Western Illinois and Michigan. So I don't remember paying the application fee for my school, but there were the two I paid. Yeah. At that time, I
How
think
much
there
was
was
that?
only a waiver. Western Illinois, was it $70? I've forgotten the exact amount, but I think one was 70 and one was 90. So let's say
Hmm.
160. Yeah. At that time.
And then the one you got waiver for is the one you're currently in.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what would you tell people who have this notion of, oh, me, I don't do schools with application fee waiver because I'm not going to get admission? What do you tell them?
No, no, because I feel like those who are giving waivers, you have nothing to lose. You are not paying anything. So what's your problem?
Yeah.
So even though I understand them, you shouldn't always dwell on the free application. If you see a school with a free application, apply it because you are not losing anything. You are just submitting an application. Yeah. But also add schools you are going to pay, so that it won't be like always, because the one something that is free, obviously many people are going to apply, so the competition is going to be, if you are comparing.
Mhm.
So it's like, don't just brush up the idea that a school is, and in this study abroad journey, everybody's journey is different. The fact that everybody is doing it, don't say that everybody is doing it so you have given up. No, everybody's application is different, so you might never know. Yeah. So
To make it easier for our people to follow, let's share the website of the universities you apply to, and all of them you apply to chemistry.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's start with the University of New Haven. Talk to us about your school. Maybe if you are supposed to be like a promotional, content creator or influencer. You're influencer already. So
Well,
talk
I
to
don't,
me.
I'm not getting money, so I'm not.
The school didn't pay me to influence them.
I know, but honestly, if people really want an honest answer from me, I wouldn't like blatantly recommend my school to, like, because my school is very stingy when it comes to funding. They are very, very stingy. I'm gonna tell you that for free. They are very, very, very stingy. They don't even the most scholarship they can give you is 75%. They don't give 100% for
So
master students.
you know something.
Undergrad and PhD is different, but for masters,
Fidel, you know something. Let's start with
yeah.
the positives. Yeah, we are no bash but let's start with the positives. Talk to us about the positive side of University of
Okay.
New Haven.
Yeah, definitely the opportunities, when it comes to academics, I'll give it to them, and the relationship with the professors. The professors are so down to earth. At times, I feel like they are even my friends, because you can email a professor at 2 a.m. and they will reply. So it's like they have this student-professor relationship with you. Like they are so, comparing it to Ghana professors is so when it's one of the culture shocks I always say, because these people are so helpful. Like they will literally help you in any way you want. Yeah, so that I will give it to them. And academically too, they are good. They have good curricula. You will learn a lot, and they have a lot. If you actually want to learn and know a lot, like my school is up there. They have a lot of facilities, excellent program, excellent courses, and yeah, that I'll give it to them.
Yeah, so University of New Haven. New Haven is NEW and Haven is HAVEN. Yeah, just close to the spelling of heaven, right? So you can imagine,
Yeah.
and mostly they waive the application fee for you. I'm sure that that was probably one of the reasons that Fidelia applied. And guess what? The ones that paid $90 whatever, It is the one that got her application fee waiver. That is what got her here. So at least they got you here. So you can imagine that. And so this is one of the schools you would want to target if you probably are interested in any of their programs as well. So you're talking about not getting a scholarship. People think that the school should give you scholarship that would help you get your visa approved. Your case is different. How is it that you didn't get scholarship from them, yet you wanted to still go for the visa? I remember when you sent me a message on WhatsApp, but let's talk about that. Why is it that they didn't give you scholarship, but yet you went for the visa interview?
Well, they actually didn't give me a partial scholarship. So it's like, one thing about me, when I do I don't want to do something once and repeat it again. I want to do something and do it once and get it over with. So when I don't get it, I know it wasn't for me in the first place. So when I got the admission and as I was saying, I got a professor I was going to work with. So I was like, I have these two things, so I can make it work. And also, I don't know if I can talk about my interview experience now. I didn't do my interview in Ghana.
Okay.
That actually deserves an interview on its own. So I didn't do my interview because I literally did I did everything wrong in my application. I submitted my application very late. I was always on the deadline. Like
I want you to repeat that. You did everything wrong in your application.
Yes, I did everything wrong.
We've had anybody who has been very honest with us, like you are being now. You are talking about your screen away, and then you say you did everything wrong in your application.
Yeah,
the wrong things got you here.
Yeah, not like wrong, but if I'm going back now that I know better, I will not do what I did because I would have applied early application is always the best. I mean, it saves you from the stress of like beating deadlines and everything.
So when you say late, how late?
It was like, I think like a month away, or was it a month or weeks? Month away from the deadlines.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a month away. So it's like,
what did you do for them to accept it? Did you email them that I'm now applying, or you just applied and hope that because it's free they will get you in?
Yeah, for my school, I emailed them before. I wanted to, but when I emailed them, I think 2 days later, I was like, no, I gotta reply because the time. So the day I replied, the following day, I got an email from the professor.
Oh, I see.
So I replied. I actually went ahead because everything was ready. My OSOP is there, everything. So what am I even waiting for? I just applied because the time is also going.
Let's talk about the cost of. Sorry, let's talk about the cost of attendance. How much scholarship they gave you, and the deficit you had, and still had the confidence that this is an I-20 I'll still want to use for the interview. I have this information, but for the purpose of people listening.
I think at first I was able to negotiate, so I got a 50%. So my deficit was, I think 22,000.
Okay.
I think 22,000.
So for people listening, for context, if we say deficit, it means that the total cost of attendance minus the scholarship that the school gave her, and after that, she needed to get a bank statement of 22,000.
Yeah.
Did anybody?
I think I made a mistake. I got a scholarship of 22,000.
Okay, I'm saying no, nothing to do with it. Yeah. All right, let's go.
So my deficit was like 17,000, almost 18,000. Let me say.
Oh, okay. Almost so the scholarship was bigger than the deficit.
Yeah. So almost 18,000.
So did anybody tell you that this is not a good offer? You shouldn't go for the interview?
Yeah, definitely. They didn't blatantly tell me it wasn't a good offer, but they were telling me that if I could like relax and maybe do the applications again and get a better offer, because now
shout outs to them, by the way.
And get a better offer, it would be better because they wouldn't advise me to go with the higher deficits. I might not get approved, especially in Ghana. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't even want to go to the Ghana embassy. Because I was like, I wanted a place whereby I can actually explain my case and they wouldn't deny me because of financial constraints. I wanted somewhere I could explain, especially the fact that I already have a research advisor I'm going to work with. So that alone should like give me the upper hand and let me plead my case to the view that, you know what, listen, I don't have the full funding, but please allow me to go because I have so much to offer than just financially you denying me because of my financial or the deficits or anything. So that is one of the reasons why, because I had this notion. People were saying that in Ghana embassy they won't allow you to talk. You can be talking and then it will just shut you down, because I mean Ghana embassy, there's a lot of people there. But other countries, especially not the I did my interview in Eswatini.
Okay.
So yeah, so that place, and it's true, that place we weren't really a lot, so it's like you had the opportunity to actually talk. Yeah.
Right
So
now, unfortunately, people cannot go to Eswatini for the interview. Everybody would have to go through the visa interview.
Yeah.
Does
But
that
now
mean
I feel like now it's actually better than at first. Now that the visa application, our time it was like, they've changed everything. So now it's actually easy to get a date and everything. At first, our time it wasn't like that. So I think now it is better. So yeah.
why didn't you listen to the people that said that you should relax and not go in for this offer, but decide to reapply again? Why didn't you listen to them?
Yeah, I had a lot of reasons. One, I am somebody that I don't like getting stressed twice. I always want to do something once in my life and not touch it again. If I don't get it, I feel like, no, this is not my time now. So let me put it aside. So I had already made up my mind that I'm already like 70% in this process. So let me just go ahead and finish it. If I don't get it, fine. I'll realize that it's not my time, or it's not my, own to come and study abroad or anything. And I'll just continue my life in Ghana. But let me go, because even though I have a lot of money to lose, but at the end of the day, I won't die or anything. And thankfully, I met you, and I prepared myself for whatever was to come. I was prepared that if I lose, fine. If I get it, fine. So, and also I had people, as I was saying earlier, I had people who were also encouraging me. I had a lot of people who was encouraging me than people who were discouraging me. So I decided to stick with those who were encouraging me. Yeah.
If somebody has the same deficit like you had, you have been through the process. You've gone through this. Now, this person wouldn't have an opportunity to go to Eswatini. Would you still advise them to go ahead for the visa interview?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Even if the person is not too late to like apply again or maybe renegotiate, because some of these schools you can actually renegotiate and get a better offer. If you've done everything and that is your last choice, do not give up. Still go to the interview and make sure you give it your all. Because some people go there with full funded and they get denied. So that is also there. So you just have to go and plead your case and make sure that you do give it your all. Prepare for your interview. And you know in yourself that if they deny you, you did your best. So I would always encourage, I would never discourage somebody from like, even though when you come here, I would always, even though I'm encouraging you to come with a higher deficit and everything, the pressure when you come here is also another thing.
Yeah.
It is also another thing. Yeah.
But you're not dead. You're surviving and you are dancing in your videos and all that. You're not dead, right?
Yeah. I'm not dead. Even though it's not easy, but I'm not dead. So you will not die.
Miss Etsy, do you want to come in? Your microphone is muted. You have to unmute it.
No, I'm just enjoying the conversation and how realistic she's saying things as it is. So that's why I'm just like eagerly listening to everything.
I think she's very real. Like she's a real lady. She says things as it is. She's not going to pamper her school if they are not giving her money.
Even if
I love that.
My president is here, I'll tell him, because I'm not gonna I'll not lie to my people.
And I think that's what most people need. They need to kind of understand the realistic aspect of things as it is. And I like the fact that you said from the beginning when you were talking, you mentioned the fact that it wasn't like easy, but everything that you're saying has to do with determination. You had made up your mind that I've already started, so I might as well, finish. And if it doesn't work out, I know I tried and it didn't work out, rather than just leaving things hanging and then absolutely not doing anything about it. So that's one thing that I feel like throughout your conversation really, really struck me. And I'm glad that you are very optimistic about everything and decided to give it a shot regardless.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask, so like hypothetically, if you had the chance to choose between another, like if you had the opportunity to do another school aside New Haven, were there like other options that you feel would have given you more than what New Haven gave you, or because you said New Haven was what you wanted to do, so that was like your goal?
No. Definitely, if I was to do again, I would definitely apply for more schools. Like, I'll apply as many as I can, because the more you apply, the more you have more opportunities to choose from, and like you won't limit yourself. So if I'm to do again, I will definitely apply to a lot of schools that are going to give me because there are so many schools in the US that are looking for people to give funding to. There are schools here that are looking for like international students to work with. But I feel like I didn't do my research enough. As I was saying, I was doing everything by the deadline. So if I had the time to properly plan, I'll do a lot of things differently. I'll definitely apply to more schools. I'll definitely send so many cold emails. I'll email so many professors. Like, I will take my time, even though even with the 3 applications I did, it was very, very stressful. But at the end of the day, it was worth it. It was worth it at the end of the day. So why don't you just like dedicate maybe like 6 months of your time and do this, because you are not going to regret it at the end of the day. So if I'm to go back, I'll definitely apply to as many schools as I can to like expand my opportunities and also my chances. Yeah.
So I don't know if you already responded to this, and before like I hand over to Ben or Arabi, did you happen to do any like test? Because I know you're doing chemistry, and I know for like those courses sometimes they require some of these GRE and all of those things. Did you have to do any of that, or you're also like, no, I was about to say maybe you're also doing like math, but I'm like, you're doing chemistry, so there's absolutely no way you would not like math.
I have no choice.
Did you have to do any of these standardized tests to the school?
Absolutely no, because I had people tell me that there are over 5,000 universities in America, and many of them don't require these tests. And people get admissions day in and day out without these tests. So I didn't even want to worry about myself, because the application process was stressful enough. I didn't want to add that. So I specifically looked for schools that don't require GRE, like those tests. I didn't want any test, nothing. I just, my CV, my GPA was enough. My recommendation was enough for you to admit me. So I personally don't even recommend. If you want to write it, fine, but I personally don't recommend writing it. If you want to write it and get it up, of course, if you write it you are not wasting your time. You get an upper hand, because some of the schools actually require you to write it and all of those stuff. But if you don't want to write it, it's perfectly fine. There are schools here that waive almost every test. So I decided to stick with those schools and then see how it went. Yeah. So
why does it look like I really like your mindset, Fidelia? Like we've never got people telling us we've interviewed a lot of people. What you're telling us is so different. You said people shouldn't write the GRE, yeah?
Me, if it was me, I wouldn't encourage anybody to write it, honestly.
It means that if you were supposed to start your process now with all the information you have, you still not write it.
I was not right.
Shout out to Fidelia, man. Yeah. Your mindset is so different.
One thing I'll do though is, especially if you are a STEM major and you are in school, take your project very seriously. That is what will give you even though of course you have to get a good GPA, not the best, but at least get a good GPA there. Take your final year project, or even if you get a chance after school, still be in a sort of project or what, especially if you want to get the full funding and like the full ride scholarships. Take your final year projects very seriously, because these professors, they love talking about their work. So if they see somebody also enthused about research, like they fall in love with you instantly. So I feel like that is one of the or maybe how should I even say it? Yeah. So if you really want to, I'd rather take my project seriously than go and write GRE, because like at the end of the day, especially if you manage to even get a published article, you are done. You are okay. You don't need an external exam for anything. So yeah, but if you want to write it too, it's also good. I mean, you always want to decorate your application and make it like attractive. So if you want to do it, but I won't.
Interesting. So before I have Ben like take over, I just wanted to ask, and I know you mentioned in your previous conversations about emailing a professor. So to somebody watching today, and you also mentioned that if you could go back, you send a lot of cold emails and stuff like that. So for somebody watching today, what would you say in terms of the importance of emails when applying for schools? Would you say it played a significant role or maybe some percentage to your application?
Yeah, I would really say, because it's like most of these American schools don't just hand you money because you are doing an application. You are coming to work for them. And you are coming to work for them either through their research or maybe administration assistant, whatever. But mostly it's based on the department, the funding they have, that they distribute these scholarships. So it's like sometimes it's like first come, first serve. So if you don't email anybody and you send the application, and some people have already emailed these professors and already have a good relationship with them, even from before seeing them, definitely they will get the opportunity first before you will get the rest. So it is always, don't go and send a lengthy email, anything. Just, craft it, and don't let it be generic. Because these lecturers, they know they get thousands of emails every day. So if it's generic, they know. Just, be genuine, and, especially it's a plus when your research aligns with theirs, because they know you are not somebody who is just testing them because they want, emailing them, sorry, because they want a scholarship. They know you are genuinely interested in the work they are doing, because you are doing this similar thing. So working with you won't be difficult. It's not like they will be stressing you or anything. So if you show genuine interest in them, like you show them that you've gone through their articles, show them that you are genuinely interested in what you do. That is one advice I would say. It plays a very important role. Yeah, it plays a very important role in the even one of the, like, they told us that is one of the things that students fail to acknowledge when they are doing these applications. They just send in the applications and wait for a miracle to happen. No, you have to do this. Even you have to be doing this before you send the application. That is why at times you need a lot of time before. Send those code. It's very important, especially if you don't want scholarship, fine. But if you want scholarship, you have to be doing these things. Send as many emails as you can. Send it. And definitely you will get one person or one professor who will show interest in you. And with that, you don't even have to do a lot of application, because you already know that this person is already interested in me. So let me even limit the number of application fee I'm going to pay and everything. So it helps. Sending a cold email is very, very important. And for those who don't know, cold email is just emailing a professor, a potential professor you want to work with, and telling him how interested you are in their research and why they should take you in their department, and you are going to, and the value you will bring to his lab or his work. So basically, a short email will do. Yeah, because they don't read those long emails. They just want a few, sentences and everything. So yeah, that is definitely my advice.
Ben will come in with few questions. We'll read some comments from our viewers, and then we can proceed. Ben, go on.
Yeah, Fidelia, I like your effect today. Interesting thing. For the first time, Fred also made an attempt to come out with American accent. I didn't know whether Arabi observed that. So today is Arabi effect, not the Fred effect. Fidelia effect.
Fidelia effect, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the effect is too strong for everyone in the house. Yeah, I like your genuineness and how flexible you are in attempting our questions. We really appreciate. Just some few other things we would like to also know. Now, looking at it from this point of view, like just a minute. I just want to. Okay, now as a young girl on a special scholarship in the United States, how did you manage to survive?
Fidelia is a woman.
Have I even survived?
Fidelia, you're not a girl, you're a woman, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm a woman now. Have I even survived? Okay, let's say I was lucky enough when I came here. I had a couple of family members here, so with them, I was able to secure a private loan, and then they guaranteed for me, so I didn't have to worry about like the rest of my deficits. I had to of course I had to, because the school I had, my professor was trying so hard. He did everything he can. That is why I always say my school is very stingy. He did everything he can for them to cover my deficit, but it got to a point I had to. He advised me to get a student loan. So at a point he was even ready to co-sign for me, but luckily for me, I also got a family member here who did the co-signing for me. So at least that financial burden was off from me. So I didn't have to worry about like the rest of my tuition and everything, even though it was still very hard at first. Especially you get the money you are paid here is literally chicken change, and you have a lot of bills to pay here. So fortunately for me, I would say I wouldn't say I'm fortunate because I have a loan to pay. I owe the US. But yeah, fortunately for me, I was able to secure a loan for the rest of my deficit. So yeah, that was
So
basically
I
it.
am also a young guy coming to the state. I have zero funding. What advice will you give me?
I would advise, if you are already here, if the person is already in the US, I will try as much as possible
I
not
just
to.
got admission,
You
and
just
by
get admission.
faith, I want to prepare for my visa interview, hoping that it will be approved.
Okay. So as I'm saying, you have already gone through with the process, and there's no turning back. For me, that is my motto. There's no turning back. And I would, first of all, I'm always blunt. I will tell you the truth before I encourage you. I will tell you the realities you're about to face, because the storm that is about to hit you, you would never like you will cry. Oh, you will cry. The cry you will cry, like nobody can console you. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'll also encourage you to still go for your interview, put in your all, because there's a 50% chance you might get denied, there's a 50% chance you might get approved. So go ahead and get the approval and come. And there are student loans. Obviously, your only choice will be student loan, because if anybody advises you that you can work and pay your fees here, they are lying. They are lying, unless when you come here, you decide that you don't want to go to the school. Because I don't know the kind of work you will do that you will be able to pay 40,000 a year in America. Even those who are citizens here, they don't even have that kind of money. So if anybody is telling you that you work and pay your fees or your tuition, they are blatantly lying to you. So definitely your only option when you come here is student loans. And
Fidelia Otokokoson, and I like how blunt you go with your submissions. I wanted to come in real quick that
yeah.
Your professor was forcing. You had admissions to 2 different universities. Did you defer those admissions? Was it possible that you could have moved to those other schools, or maybe even as you came in, you could have worked on different applications so you transfer? What about that option?
Yeah, definitely. It was when I came here like that. I feel like my professor was the one who was giving me that push to, like, he gave me some kind of hope that for some reason, I don't know, because everyone was telling me, because chemistry is one of the most funded programs in America. So I could have easily done a transfer or anything and got it in a full ride. But for some reason, something in me was telling me to still be in that school. So I I kind of stayed with my instincts, honestly.
So what it means is that people can come in like you came in, and one of the
Mhm.
options would be the loan you spoke about.
Yeah.
Another option could be that they can defer the programs that they got admission to, like
Yeah.
Michigan, Western Illinois, and maybe apply to other schools as they are in. And when
Yeah.
they get full ride, they can move into that.
Yeah.
Right.
But the catch is, this school, before you can defer, you have to pay your semester the semester amounts.
Shout outs to Arabi though.
They won't let you go without paying $0. You would have to pay maybe the courses you registered in the first semester, and then yeah, that is the catch. So you definitely have to still pay. That is the annoying part, because why am I leaving $12,000, especially if you didn't come with any funding? Why am I leaving $15,000 with you and go?
So
But
what
at the end of the day,
is that if you
Mhm.
had gotten another school and maybe you finished a semester in your current school, you would be asked to pay the semester before you transfer to another school.
Definitely, it's part of the requirement. You have to pay.
Arabi, kindly come in here. So you did exactly that. You came in on a partial scholarship, and then why did you decide to apply to a different school in the first place? Why didn't you stay just like Fidelia is staying with her professor and all that? Why did you run away?
Right. Pẹ̀lú ẹni pàbọ̀dí ni o. Well, you looked at my deficit and you are telling me to say, I mean, that's on a lighter note. My deficit was too much. It was about
Mhm.
14,000 per semester. And whilst I was in, I did a lot of application to other schools. And by the grace of God, I got a full ride, plus housing, plus free meals, and all of that. So I looked at, I mean, you look at these
Who
options and
wouldn't?
nobody in their sane mind will still be with the $14. I had to move. But just as you said, before moving, I had to pay my 14,000. I didn't pay everything.
You muted your microphone. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. But I had to negotiate with them. I paid some. They transferred my service and then my information to my new school, and I am still paying.
Okay,
I'm
so
not done
same
paying.
situation. You come in on a partial scholarship. Fidelia is being very hopeful that her professor is pushing. They will give her funding. She loves the research stuff like that. And you decided that when I'm done with one semester here, as I came in, I am schooling at the same time, working on other applications, hoping that I'll transfer. And so, did you end up getting a lot of admissions, or you got only one, and all the scholarships were sorted?
I got a lot of admission. I think I got one for University of South Carolina
Okay.
or South Carolina University. I mean, these two sometimes I get confused. And I got Western Illinois University, and I got another admission. Oh shit, I've forgotten the school.
Yeah.
So what I did was I looked at all these three. University of South Carolina, I was given about 75. That was an administrative work at the provost office, and then the Western Illinois, I was given residence life that included a free accommodation, two-bedroom house, two bedrooms, and then free meals every semester. So I looked at these three options and I'm like, I think at this moment, Western Illinois is the best choice for me. And it was a program I really loved, something I really wanted to do, higher education. So I love the program and I love the funding that came with it. But the moving wasn't as easy as I thought. Just as you said, you have to pay because you have done a semester in the school. And then I had to complete my semester because I got a job in the school. That's the case Western. I was working in the pharmacology department. So I got a job in the school. So I had to finish that job for the semester before I could move. And then WIU2, it was in the spring semester that I could start because I got admission somewhere November, December. I cannot do that fall semester. I had to wait to spring.
So what it means is that when you come into a school, you do not necessarily have to graduate before you leave. You can transfer.
You can transfer. You can transfer. I mean, I don't know if the immigration laws have changed because I was hearing something about it, but as it stands now, if nothing has changed with the immigration policy and immigration laws, you can transfer to a different school that gives you whatever financial compensation that you think that is better than the school that you are in. You can. But the but is you have to pay for that is if you did the full semester. But I know somebody who didn't do the full semester. So what happened was when we came, we were a lot who encountered this challenge. So a friend of mine wrote to the school that the father who brought, I mean, the guardian who brought them here has fallen sick, so they should defer that for 1 year, for one semester. I thought deferring means you had to go back to your country because you didn't have a school. But she could talk to the school, they deferred it one semester. So while it was deferred for her, she was looking for another school. So she didn't have to do that one semester. So she doesn't owe that 14,000. I didn't know. That's what Fidelia says. You are one information away from your breakthrough.
Yeah.
So I had to do that entire semester before I could transfer. But she had to go and speak to administration. They deferred her thing, and in her deferring or deferment process, she was applying to other school, and she got other school, and she moved in the spring.
So you didn't have family like Fidelia has to support you to get a loan.
Right.
Anyway, but Fidelia, we are grateful to your family. I mean, like you said, everybody's journey is different. We are grateful to your family. But how many years are you into your program now?
I think I have just a semester left. So I'm graduating in May. So yeah, basically a year and a half.
You are a hard lady. I tell you, like when you're dead.
I am, but I didn't even realize I'll be this hard. America has hardened me. Oh my god.
Yeah. So you be hard. You are a hard lady. Doing chemistry, having to go through this financial stuff, and then still being able to graduate. There's nothing you cannot go through. Anyway,
and I wouldn't recommend, honestly.
you wouldn't
Oh,
recommend
no,
anybody
no.
goes to this. Yeah, that is Otikokos Nana Fidelia. Fidelia, where are you from in Ashanti region though?
Well, my new
Where
word to
you
be
from?
asked.
New Edibiasi. Okay, okay, that is
Yeah.
Otikokos Nana Fidelia. We have a lot of comments. Thank you for sending in your questions and comments. We are going to respond to some of them. Fidelia, you'll be doing a lot of the responses for us. So
Okay.
Lawari, I don't know if I'm getting the name right. Congrats in advance. And then Arabi was very swift. Okay, Arabi was swift. She is swift too. Wow. And then Brakofi on Facebook is saying, yes, I am enjoying it. Okay. Abdul is saying that this is really very insightful. God bless you guys. God bless you for tuning in. It's not easy when you're using data to watch us. So shout out to you wherever you're watching us from. Shout out to the TikTok people too. And then is it the smiling God? The smiling God say, yes, sir. Let's see if we have some questions we can respond to. So Cynthia, Fidelia, Cynthia is saying that I graduated with a low GPA of 2.5 in business management. What can I do to stand a chance of getting admission? Fidelia, what would you say?
When it comes to like, I'm always good when it comes to STEM. Okay, but I don't know about how business business is what, college of what? College of Arts, right?
There's a business. They have a college of business.
College of Business. Okay.
Yeah.
That I cannot really, but I'll try to answer like from the general point of view. I feel like when it comes to the study abroad journey, don't let your GPA limit you. Do not let your GPA limit you. Just make sure that these GPA is not the only requirements. There's your CV, there's your recommendation, and what again? There's a whole lot of things that can when you fall short here, make sure. So if you have a low GPA, make sure you are writing a compelling SOP. Make sure you are reaching out to professors who are not just going to submit a generic recommendation for you. Like, they can actually vouch for you. Apart from you falling short of your academics, like they can actually vouch for your other abilities on your your values you are going to bring. If they how fit you are as a candidate if they admit you in their school. So a low GPA at times shouldn't limit you from like these school application. Just make sure that, especially when it comes to your CV, make sure you are volunteer, especially your program. I don't know about businesses, but when it comes to these sciences, there are a lot of volunteering you can do to like upgrade your CV, because these people love when you go out of your way to do extracurricular things. If you have conference, you can attend conferences in your field and everything to like boost your CV and everything. So the low GPA alone shouldn't like discourage you. That's what I'm gonna say. Make sure that you are compensating your low GPA with like compelling SOPs. You should like write a reason. Let it be known in your CV that your low GPA, or don't go around you have a low GPA in your CV in your SOP, of course. Like structure it in a way that they shouldn't judge you or don't give you a chance just because you have a low GPA. You are more than your GPA, especially. Yeah. So
Cynthia Felix, what you can also do, thank you, Fidelia. What you can do is also use WES to see if the CGPA will jump up. So WES, if you do the West evaluation, it will push it up a little bit. Just like Fidelia said, you do not necessarily have to base on. If you're a human being, you have one finger cut off. It doesn't make you less of a human being. So it's the whole application package and not only your transcript. So this is for you, Fidelia. Please, I have been admitted to a university, and then the scholarship, I have a deficit of 22,000. My dad is willing to pay. I'll be studying computer science. Any advice, Fidelia?
Oh, if you have a rich dad, you don't have a problem, honestly. You don't have a problem. Just make sure you already got he or she already got the application and they have their I-20, everything. It's just a visa acquisition.
Yeah. So Miss Hetty has a crash here. Miss Hetty is just on another level with her English. Miss Hetty, oh wow. So
me pacho.
You have a crash in the comment. Denise, shout out to you watching us from YouTube. Miss Hetty has a YouTube channel. It's called MSHETTY. Please make sure you subscribe. Miss Hetty, did I get it right? It's HER or HETTY?
HERTY.
Oh, my bones are coming, bravo. Okay. HERTY Miss Hetty. So Janice, please subscribe to that. You see more of her English over there as well. Okay, so I think Edward Arthur, Fidelia answered this question about the cost of attendance, how much the scholarship was, and how much the deficit was. Okay, let's see if there are more questions, and then we can respond to them. See,
Right, I
what
think
might
there's a question from, sorry, I think there's a question
okay.
from Prince that says, the option of deferring the first semester, can you still live in a country while you are not schooling?
Like just like you mentioned, things
Yeah.
change. And so if it has changed now, the person you spoke about did it a couple of years ago. So if things have changed now, that is Kofi, we explained the deficit to be your total cost of attendance. Let's say your total cost of attendance is like $20, and then you have a scholarship of $5. It means the deficit is $15. Let's see if we have more questions. I think people are just giving us fans in the comment section. Okay. He said that, please, I want to apply for MSc Community and Leadership Development. Could you suggest some public universities in USA that offer full scholarship? Janice, all you need to do is to use AI or Google to search for this. Some universities will pop up. You email them to, you read on their website, you may be able to find the scholarship information, or you email the HOD to ask this specific question, that this is your qualification. Would you be given admission if you be given scholarship? That would be the best way to figure out if you get a scholarship for the program you select. Hina is saying that on Facebook, I have secured admission for my student in the US. I have received her I-20 though. Can you coach her for me in terms of visa interview? So she got full tuition scholarship. That's awesome. Congrats to your student, Hina. What we do is that we have a mock interview platform. And so all you need to do is to send us a message on Instagram. We will add you to the WhatsApp platform so that she can prepare. Okay, so Kobe talked about Fidelia's accent. Yeah, the accent is accenting. All right. I think that's what, I don't know if you guys can see any questions, but I think that's what I saw now. So we can proceed.
Sure.
Ben, you want to come? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Go
So
ahead.
you can proceed. Fidelia, you've been so blunt and so honest with your answers and everything, and we are so grateful for that. I think our viewers are also so grateful for that, because people come here and some of them sugarcoat some of the things that they say, making the reality so different. But as somebody who is in the system and saying that, I wouldn't advise anybody to come through the same reality. You know how kind of quote unquote hell it is when you don't have food, when you don't have the full ride, or when you are not fully funded. As somebody who has been on both sides, I know how it feels. I know how it is from being not funded to fully funded. That satisfaction, that relief, you're like, oh, if I can go through this stress free like that. I mean, yeah. So thank you for being honest. But I, you're really talking about going for a visa interview. I didn't hear you saying you did it in Ghana. Did you do it in Ghana?
No. I didn't do
Okay.
it in
Even
Ghana.
though now the option is not there again because of immigration policies, but would you want to go into it? Which country? How much is it cost? And all of that. Why did you even choose a different country apart from Ghana?
Yeah, absolutely. As I was saying, I was living by the edge, everything. So I wasn't even getting a date in Ghana. I wasn't getting a date, and the time was fast moving. I had like a few weeks to my start date, so I had to act quickly. So I think when I was in Ghana, my uncle suggested that he knows this guy who, because I did my application myself, but when it came to the visa and everything, I was clueless. So I was like, you know what, this one I need somebody. It's not everything that everything you need somebody to help you out, because I mean, yeah, to know the process. So my uncle suggested someone who actually helped me, and he was like, you know what, if you actually want to go the extra mile, I can suggest a country you can go. I didn't even know you could even go to another country for your visa, because I knew it's Ghana definitely that we can. But he said no, you can actually go for your interview at another place than Ghana. And at that time too, I wasn't getting a date. That was one of the reasons why. And there was so many misconceptions. If you don't have funding, you're not going to get approved and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'll go the extra mile and see, because I actually want somewhere I can actually plead my case. That is what I didn't want. I didn't want, when I was talking, no, they will cut me off and say, no, your visa has been approved. At least let me finish talking and I've convinced you a little. Yeah, so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to go to a country where, in Ghana, we are like every day the interview place is full. But I realized that in the other African countries, there's not as much pressure on the embassies like in Ghana. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why. And honestly, that one too, I wouldn't recommend, because it costs a lot of money. It
Would you
costs
be
a
able to
lot of
share which
money.
country
That's
exactly you went to?
pardon?
It reminds me of when I was going for my visa interview. I wasn't getting a date, and I told Fred that I want to go to Sierra Leone because I've heard people are going there. Fred asked me if you have money for flight accommodation. When you're done, you stay
But
and wait
you
for your
stay.
passport.
I won't recommend. Honestly, I won't recommend. But at the end of the day, it paid off. So, but I still
Which
won't
country was
recommend
that, Fidelia? Would you want to share?
the country. Or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I said I did it in Eswatini, Swaziland. Previously Swaziland. So my flight was like Accra from Accra to Joburg, and then Joburg to Eswatini. Yeah. So because of the guy I met, the guy who was leading me, he had a guy there who was going to meet me at the airport and take me to my accommodation and everything. So he had arranged, even with that, the way I stressed, even with so I can imagine those who didn't know anybody and they were just navigating everything on their own. I can just imagine. It was too stressful, honestly. The interview itself was very smooth. Like it was very smooth, even though the environment was very tense. It was
What
very
questions
smooth.
were
But
he asked? Do you remember? Do you want to share
yeah,
it with us?
I remember. How will I forget? I remember. I remember. I think I was asked like three questions, and that was the
Okay.
questions I wanted him to ask me. Honestly, for the most part. So obviously, the first question was, why are you here? They want to know the reason why you are here, and obviously you're going to explain like you are here to be interviewed for an F1 visa because of Fred effect. I had already, I practiced and practiced and practiced, and I was like, these things were flowing like river, because I already, and that is one of the best things I ever did for myself. Because not like you, me, I know, no. It's always good to like join these mock interviews and polish your answer. At times, you might even be given an answer, and something might be wrong somewhere, and somebody can actually correct. Especially those who have gone to the interview and they know the ins and outs. Somebody can actually, no, don't say it like this. I would suggest you say it like this. So all these things like really really helped me, and I feel like when I went there, that was part of the reason why I was, because there were like 8 people in front of, everybody was denied. I think that day I was the first person to get approved. Everybody was denied. So it was like, and that also really played a huge role, because I had already mentally prepared myself that, you know what, in this place not everybody is going to get approved, but don't let somebody's approval like affect you, because their journey is different. As I always say, Eh, every, the decision of somebody in front of me shouldn't affect me, because we are not the same. So that is one thing you should always, when you are going for these interviews, keep it in your mind that definitely they are going to deny people in front of you, but don't let it shake you. Even though I'm human, I was still, at a point my throat was so dry, even though it wasn't even my turn to talk. So I think my first question was, they asked the reason why I was there, and I explained F1 visa, like blah blah blah. And the second question was, he asked what I've been doing since my undergrad. Like they want to know your employment experience. They don't want you, because I feel like the girl in front of me, he was denied because of that. I think she had a gap. At times she wasn't working, because I felt like she was gonna get a, because she answered everything good. I think she was a Gambian also. I've forgotten the person. She answered. I'm like, no, this girl is gonna get approved. This girl, and she was denied. And when I finished, I realized that maybe it was because she couldn't really explain the gap in her like resume or something. So yeah, I explained like from my undergrad. At that time, I was working, when I was in Ghana, I was working with the FDA. So after my undergrad, I also explained my employment experience, and also extracurricular activities I've been doing and everything. So like this man was like nodding his head, and I was like, maybe he's getting impressed. So, and one thing I didn't want was him bringing up finances, because I know that is one of the main reasons why they deny people. So I tried as much as possible to always swerve the direction in the academia. I didn't want it to get to the like finances section. So I started talking, and then I branched into my research like experience and me securing an advisor and everything. So it was like, okay, then that's good. So like he was really interested in my research, and he said I should elaborate more on the research and how I contacted the professor and everything. So I explained to him, and he said, oh, okay, so you've already gotten an assistantship position, or and I mean, and I told him that yeah, it's in the works. He said that when immediately I land my visa and I come there, it's in the works and everything. And he checked the professor's name. I could see him typing like the professor's name on the computer, and he saw that what I was saying is the same thing on his website and everything. So it was like, because mind you, the whole time when the interview started, this man was frowning his face. But all of a sudden, I saw him like grinning. I'm like, okay, maybe. So when I was done and everything, I was talking and talking. I was talking. I didn't stop talking. I'm like, this man would say, why is this girl talking a lot? So it was like, okay, your visa has been approved. So you come back on Tuesday for your visa. I'm like, oh God. And the excitement was crazy. The excitement was crazy. Even though like eight people in front of me, and we were the first batch. I think it was in the morning. So we were the first batch. 8 people getting denied in front of me going with like even though I was strong mentally, emotionally, and everything, I was still, I'm a human being. But at the end of the day, yeah. So I was asked 3 questions: why I was there, my what I've been doing since undergrad, since I completed, and also my research experience. So they didn't even look at my bank statements. They didn't look at. I think the only thing they looked at is I-20. And like I was stressing myself with bank statement. This every document in the world I sent there, and they didn't even look at it. So I
But
didn't.
I think it's better you have these documents than not have it.
Yeah, definitely,
You just have
definitely.
it in case.
Most
But
definitely, because you never know.
sure, you were also talking about the fact that it looks like you were driving the conversation to your strength, to your stronghold. So do
Yeah,
you think, or do you agree when people say you can actually drive the visa conversation instead of leaving it
absolutely,
open to these VOs to drive it?
absolutely. It works like
Okay.
mad. Yeah, it works because I always say don't leave room for them to ask questions you cannot answer.
Mm-hmm.
Unless when it comes to that is one thing Mr. Fred always says. Do not leave room for them. Like, don't keep unless you are stopped. Don't stop talking. Unless they tell you that listen, stop and answer a different question. Do not stop talking. Keep talking and make sure. And in every am I still here? In
Yeah, you're here.
every answer you are answering, make sure you clearly let's see, what am I even saying? You clearly add your what is this thing we even say? I've forgotten. Like you are gonna come back. Like how do you even say it?
You're going to return to your country.
Yeah, not necessarily like don't like try to make it seem like you are somebody that is going and you are not coming back. Like always
Okay.
try to like create an impression that the skills you are going to gain, you are sending it definitely back to your country because you want to upgrade yourself and come to your country and let your skills be
The home ties and all of that. Somebody
home
says the home
ties.
ties.
Thank you. Home ties. Always make sure you are including home ties because it helps. Honestly, it helps. It really, really helps because most of the times if you tend to when they ask you why are you here and you are like okay, I'm here to be interviewed for an F1 visa to be able to come to the US to study, and then you just leave it like that, you kind of like create an impression that you don't know what you are about. But when you always have to add this extra, because after getting the skills, I want to come back and assume this role, or like always make sure you are including those home ties so that they don't even get the opportunity to ask you home ties questions again. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it's always good
Definitely.
to, yeah, it's always good to include these things, structure it in a way that you tailor it in a way that, yeah, they know what you are about. Yeah, and you are not just there giving them generic answers. So I feel like that is one of the things that also helped me, because those who were in front of me, it got to a point I'm like, even if I was a viewer, I would deny you, because what are you even saying? So so it's like I got because when during interviews, when somebody is talking, everybody, the environment, even when a pin drops, you will hear, because everybody is quiet. So like you could literally hear what they are saying and what they were saying. Honestly, if I was a viewer, maybe it's by the grace of God I would actually give them the visa. Yeah. So I feel
All right.
like this, it helps when you join these mock interviews. It helps you to shape your answers and know what you are going to say whenever the question is posed at you. Yeah. So you can definitely drive the interview to your direction at times. It works. Mine worked. So yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one from Fidelia. In fact, I really like the way you are telling us, giving us the hints and how to go by all these stuff. And I'm sure some of us, when we want to put in our US visa application, definitely we are going to be successful based on the information you have shared with us. This is just a quick one. We just want to know how we're gonna solve the gap, because I could remember even when I was in school, I think in our second semester, level 100, is it first or second semester? Look, I wanted to even do internship. I sent letters to so many companies and I got fed up. It's like our companies don't even value human potential. So you know what happened when we got to second year? I decided to go and sell egg to make money, because I don't know why I should waste time moving from one school to the other. And it's like they are tossing me. It's like they are not ready for me. Meanwhile, it's a free service.
You're not
And
paying
he has also been the case that when you complete, getting job to do is another issue. So now we want to know, how are we going to then fill the gap to be successful with our visa interview?
Yeah, I would actually, with that question is very dicey, and I would always advise that do not go and do not leave room for gaps. Find, like, as I'm saying, if the internships are not working, they value Americans value volunteerism. I don't know what is in volunteerism, but they really value it a lot. So always try to find volunteering things in your field, especially even if it's not in your field, at least get something. Especially if it's just a year is okay, but if it goes beyond 2 years, 3 years, that gap, they see you like somebody who is not serious, because like you are a student and you claim you want to impact lives or whatever field you find yourself in, and you were just idle because the opportunities weren't coming. They always want you to go the extra mile. So me, I'll always advise, if you're not getting anything to do, find these volunteering things. Volunteering will always like beautify your CV, because they see you as somebody. You are not actually about only, oh, how should I even put it? They see you as somebody with a good intention, and they have so many misconceptions. I wouldn't say misconceptions. They value volunteerism. Let me say it like that. And also conferences, attending conferences, these conferences. That is what I'm saying. Ghana, you don't even get to know all these things. You don't even get to know it. You want to offer free services to someone. It's like you are begging them. The country we are coming from limits us so much. So I would always advise that don't be there. If you follow Ghana and their like system, you will limit yourself all the time. Yeah. So always find these volunteering stuff. I'll always find it. Reach out to your professor. Some of them know like people who are offering volunteer, especially hospitals, especially if you are in the medical field. Hospitals, rich these
Reach out.
community what do they even call it? Community
Outreach.
outreach. Community outreach. It is very, very important. Those things. Red Cross, those like find something in your field. Especially, I always say STEM. You have to find something. You have to find something in your field. Don't let, if there's a gap in unless you have a vivid explanation, maybe you were sick or like there was something really preventing you from, they don't really accept that. So you didn't have an employment. So, at times that is how they view it. Yeah. So that is my own point of view from
Let
like
me even
filling gaps in your, yeah.
explain. Yes, that's very true. Let me even explain it from a student affairs point of view. Being in the what do you call it, having volunteer and all of that. Being a volunteer means you are actually interested in what is happening in your field, not just for the financial gain. So it
Yes.
sends a
Yes.
signal to them that you are actually interested in the field that you're in, not necessarily for the financial gains. Because
Yeah.
they believe as a master student, you are not in for financial gain, you are in for the knowledge, for the exposure. So
Yes.
if you've had these previous experiences before, it means
Mm-hmm.
that there's something that you are really interested in. Again, doing volunteering work also controls your time management skills. It also works with your inter and interpersonal skills you have with people, your teamwork, how you collaborate with people, and all of these things come together to make you a wholesome or a whole college student. So
Yeah.
if they are looking for all of these experiences, not just because they want you to do the experience, but it
Mm-hmm.
also talks about your capabilities or
Yes.
your skills. If
Mm-hmm.
some of these outreach, you have to talk to other stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
How confident are you with talking to other stakeholders outside your field? So how are you able to collaborate with other people to make sure that a
Yeah.
project has been successful? So
Yeah.
all of these
Teamwork.
things make they look at this in a wholesome point of view,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
just as just do the volunteering. The
Yes.
volunteering is very good, but they are looking beyond the volunteering.
Level.
Your
Yes.
time management skills, your communication skills, your leadership skills, how you take up a project, and if you actually end it, or you just so projects like that, and you just leave it like there. Yes, so
Yeah,
it's a
definitely.
wholesome experience that they look at from the student affairs as a college student personnel. I'm looking at it from the student affairs point of view. So these are some of the things that they are looking out for if they are asking you to do volunteering work, if they're asking you to do extracurricular activities, because everybody is a student. What did you do extra as a
To
student?
stand out.
Exactly. These are some of
Exactly.
the things that are very important for a college student. And even with theory, college students, we have something called Aston's theory, which says that how experienced or how exposed a student is with all of these extracurricular activities directly impacts or affects their academic excellence. So, if a student is that all-round student, it has a very positive influence on their academic effect or on their academics, and that is very true. Sometimes you see students. I mean, it's not just about the 4.0 or the 3.9, but students do all other things, and they can even get like 3.5, but they are all rounded students than those who got that 3.9 or 4.0. I'm not here to say CGPA is not good. No, I would always vouch for a very good CGPA. However, make sure that apart from the CGPA, you are doing other things that
Other
increases
things.
your communication skills, your leadership skills, your inter and interpersonal skills, your teamwork. Because as a graduate assistant, all of these things are very important in your
Important.
role as
Yes.
a master student and a graduate assistant,
Yeah.
especially in the US. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that, Fidelia.
Yeah, definitely. You
Yes,
couldn't have explained it any better, honestly. You spot on. That is actually
I
the,
am a student
yeah.
affairs practitioner and a
yeah.
professional. Clerkship.
Thank you so much. It's like today we have two guests in the house, Arabi and Fidelia. I like your
Oh no,
collaboration.
it's Fidelia's day. It's Fidelia's day.
All right. So this is just a quick one. I think we still have some of our friends. I don't know in other African countries, but in Ghana, at least in most of the major universities, you have to undertake um, research project before you graduate. It's like it's
Graduate.
mandatory. Yeah.
Mhm.
How serious should we take this project?
Yeah, I would say if you're not
And
gonna
and do
take
you
your,
think
yeah,
it will play a critical role in our study abroad journey?
most definitely 50%, if not even more. Because it's like as you were saying, everybody can get a good GPA. Anybody can get a good GPA. Apart from the good GPA, what else are you bringing on board? And when it comes to these STEM, even master's program, when it comes to project, especially when you are working in these industries, you are going to be embarking on projects. You are going to be presenting ideas. You are going to be testing, you are going to be running analysis. You are going to be handling the whole project collaboratively or independently. So all these things are what they are basing their judgments on. So let's say you just went to school and you got a good GPA, fine. But that alone, they don't, a good GPA alone doesn't qualify you for so many things. So the final year projects you do in your undergrad is one of the important things. You can decide to ignore your academic classroom work, but please, your final year projects, put in your all. Put in your all, because most of the time that is what you are always going to build on, especially when you are applying for these schools, because you definitely have to find a research interest and make sure you are working on a project you actually like. Don't go and work on a project because everybody is doing it. Work on something.
Not because you want A.
Work on something you see yourself doing long term. I, for instance, I'm more into medicinal chemistry. I'm more into the pharmaceutical manufacturing industries. And so if I'm to do a research, or I did my research in like organic chemistry, synthesis, natural chemistry, natural product chemistry. So something like that is actually what I enjoy doing and I see myself doing long term. So something like that, if you are building on it and like applying to these schools, you just carry it. And one thing about, you would definitely find a professor whose research aligns with yours. You would definitely find a school or a professor who's, so yeah, you really, really have to take these projects seriously. I didn't take mine serious enough. I did, but I wish I really took it serious enough. Because if you take it serious enough and you are even able to land a publication, you are sitting on gold mine. You are actually sitting on gold mine. A publication, because researchers are judged based on their publication. You can't be a researcher and you work like 5 years without any publication. That means you are doing nonsense in the lab, or you are doing whatever you are doing. Why are you not getting results? Because in the scientific community, that is how they view it. They view it based on, because if your work is good, you're going to get publicized. Yeah, that is how good of a public, and like it gets you into so many, as Arabi was saying. They know how you can work in a project, your teamwork skills, like it gives you the upper hand in so many things. So I cannot stress enough how your final year project, it is. You have to take it serious, honestly. It's very serious. It is very, very serious. That because the classroom work, most of the time we don't even apply it. It is the research project that is actually what you are going to apply in academia, in the industries. That is, it's sort of like sums up everything you've learned in your whole 4 years of your undergrad, and then you are just applying it practically. So it's like you are applying whatever you learned theoretically in the classroom, and now it is practical. And in the world, it's practical. We don't deal with theory in the world. We deal with practical. So that is actually the time you should put in your all. Because when you are in the classroom, for instance, when you are learning about these instruments, you are learning the theoretical aspects. But when you are doing this project, now that the theoretical aspects you learned, you are about to apply it. Right, yeah. And now they know that what you learned, you know or you don't know. So it is very important to take your final year project seriously in whatever field you are. Business, art, social science. Even social sciences is very important because you people deal with actual real world issues. So yeah, it is very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
You have spoken from the STEM point of view, even with the non-STEM point of view that I am coming from. In one of my application, I was asked for a writing sample, and it was my final year project that I submitted as a writing sample.
You mean undergraduate? You mean undergraduate?
Yes.
Yeah. My undergraduate final research was what I submitted as my writing sample. They asked, I think, 15-page writing sample, and I was like, what am I going to write? And I called Fred and Fred said, did you do your undergraduate research? You can use that. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And assuming I didn't join or I didn't fully participate in the undergraduate research, it means I have to now sit down and write a 15-page of something. Maybe something I even don't have any idea of, something I have to start afresh. But because I took that, and please, my project coordinator, my group leader, please forgive me, I'll come to life more. I really participated in it. Because I really I participated small, but I participated in it. I was able to transfer that in my application, and then I submitted that as my what do you call my writing sample. So it's very important if you are still in school and you have these research stuff and both STEM and non-STEM. With the STEM, you're going to do the practicality. With the non-STEM, you're going to submit it sometimes as a writing sample, and it's very important. I think during one of this PhD application, you're supposed to also submit about 40 pages. I'm like, and then
Mm.
again, you can submit your final year thesis or whatever you have written to it as, and then it's going to be accepted. So, somebody said, Amwa, Frederick Amwa in YouTube on YouTube is saying that I had to write a 15-page writing sample just for application. It was a hard job. So look at it. Yeah, he had to write a 15-page. So
Yeah.
assuming this person already has undergraduate research paper, just pull it up and then upload it. So
Yeah.
it's very important.
Yeah, that is one
Anyway,
thing. I don't know why. Maybe there needs to be much education because most of the times we tend to not take it serious. Most students, because it's like at that time we are in a hurry to complete school, we are in a hurry to get jobs and get
finally,
money. But it is very very important. You realize that you will regret it if you didn't really actively participate in your projects.
mhm.
You will regret it like a lot most of the times, as you are
I
saying, the
think
writing sample and everything. Now you are coming to sit down and write a 15. How to even come up with an idea is not even easy. Coming up with the
And
idea
and
alone.
sometimes after the writing sample, they will schedule a Zoom meeting with you and ask you more questions about your thesis
Yeah,
because you claim
yeah.
you wrote it,
You claim
or
you wrote it.
even if it's a team, they believe that you pulled your weight in a team.
Yeah,
So explain how this research came about. What was the
yeah.
thought process of your research topic? How did you come about it? And they scheduled a Zoom meeting with me. And I was like, hey, these people, they should relax. I think they're
Yeah, and
actual.
these
But
people,
mhm,
because you claim, and one thing about research, definitely you work with it for like, normally research takes like a year and more. So you cannot tell me that something you claim you worked with for a year, you don't know what you are about. So of
mhm,
course you would have to explain. So that actually comes to my point where I say you have to do something you actually like, because there's this enthusiasm that you use to describe, like if you are doing something you like, the way you would explain it with like this enthusiasm. But when you don't like it, like you don't even go you're all out to even learn anything or like find anything else apart from. So like always go for something you actually like and you see yourself doing long term. Or even if you want to change it, you have to definitely find a link. You cannot just say, "Oh, I was doing this, but I want to do this now." Why? You have to find a link. What is like pushing you to change your direction and everything? So yeah, it's very important.
It's been a great session having you on, Fidelia. We really appreciate your time. We've had you for like almost like 2 hours. Like, yeah, it's been a great session, and thank you for sharing your experience and your journey. I'm sure it's been very realistic and inspirational to our brothers and sisters who are dreaming to be Fidelia one day. I know you have a TikTok platform, but are there any other social media platforms? How can people reach out to you? Do you even want people to reach out to you? We should go and watch the dance videos. We'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, definitely you can reach out to me. But those people that be saying hi, hi, hi. If you want to like go straight to the point. Especially when it comes normally TikTok, I don't even reply to most of the DMs because the hi, hi, hi's there is crazy. But if
Hmm.
you go straight to the point, I will do my best to help you in ways like I can. Yeah. So definitely I'm on Instagram. Also, my Instagram name is frimpoma underscore. Yeah, I think I'll give it to Mr. Fred later on. But so
So,
far,
what's the
TikTok,
TikTok handle?
mainly on TikTok. TikTok is okay.
Okay, what's the
Yeah.
name of the TikTok handle?
My TikTok handle is Fidelia. FEDLYAH underscore. I think so.
Can you repeat that?
FEBELYIH.
Okay, so FEDELILY. Okay.
LYIAH.
All right. So that is the TikTok handle. I'm putting it on a screen. It makes it easier. You go follow the chemistry STEM student making good dance videos for you to enjoy. Life is not all about academics. You can do other stuff too. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a great session. Thank you for coming on, and we really appreciate you. I mean, it's your home anytime, especially if you have something going on, a project going on. If you need support from people, just come on. Let's have a chat over here. All right. Final words, Arabi. Then we can finish up today. Your microphone is
Um,
muted. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Fidelia. We appreciate your time and your commitment to making our platform. Just as Fred said, we are so grateful for being very blunt, very honest to our viewers. We thank you. Final words: if you are in the US, UK, Canada, and the European countries, please download Lemfi using the code ARADEE, ARADEE. If you send your first $100, if you're in the US, you get $20 cash back, and then your subsequent amount that you send, $50 and above, you get some points from Lemfi. So Fidelia, if you haven't downloaded Lemfi yet, please download Lemfi
I have
and
it.
use. Oh, I'll charge you later. And use my code ARADEE,
I
ARADEE.
will.
You send your first $100 and you get $20 cashback. If you're in Ghana, please tell all your people you know in the US, UK, Canada, and all the European countries to download Lemfi, Lemfi, and then when they are signing up, they should use my code Arabi, ARABEE, for all the good perks that Lemfi has to offer. Lemfi has the best rates, zero transfer fees, no hidden charges, and you get your money in seconds in your momo, pa pa pa, then you get everything. So that should be it. And thank you all our viewers and those who comment and all of that for being with us. It's been 2 hours 7 minutes, and you have, I mean, buying bundle in Ghana, it's not easy.
I
And
Yeah,
know.
it's not.
sticking with us through all this 2 hours. Please, thank you very much, and we appreciate the effort. See you next week.
Awesome. So Fidelia, what we do is that normally we have a draw and then we select one person that the team helps to go through the process. So
Okay.
we can do that right away and see who gets selected today. All right. So we have about 48 entries. Let's see who gets selected. To be selected, you need to comment, you need to like, you need to share, and then the system will select one person. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Black underscore 77. Congrats to you, Black.
congratulations.
Mm.
All you need to do is to send us a direct message on Instagram, and then the team will take it from there. And then we have a lot of our friends who are also doing a great job. It's good when people go through a process and they don't gatekeep, they share their journey experience so that it will help you. One of our colleagues is Festus Aino. Festus is at Massachusetts. He has a YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. There is also our brother in Canada who also has a great YouTube channel, and that is the Lali Network. So if you've not subscribed, I'm giving you, some of the great people who are making content that will help you with your process. People have already been through the process. You don't have to struggle. So follow the Lali Network also on YouTube as well. And then Festus have already shared that our brother Aaron in Spice, recently went on a break, but he's bounced back, and his channel is called Aaron in Spice, Aaron in Spice. And then you have to follow. Arabi has a TikTok platform. You can also follow that as well. Arabi, what's the name of your TikTok platform?
RB for you, Amensa, or Audrey for
Awesome.
you, Amensa.
Good. So you follow that as well. If you know of any other brothers, and I'll be sharing that I have a couple of friends, a lot of friends who are also making good content. It's not You don't only have to follow the Freddy Effect. There are lots of other platforms that are sharing amazing ideas and content that about studying abroad, and you can also follow. So the next week I'll be sharing some of them as well. It's been a great session having you on, Fidelia. Any final words for us before you leave?
Yeah, most definitely. I would say I wish everybody luck, everybody who wants to embark on this journey, and know that it's not going to be an easy one, but you will survive.
Awesome.
And I always say we always don't prepare ourselves. We are always excited about getting our visas, coming to America. We don't get to emotionally prepare ourselves for the storm after, because the real work comes afterwards. So I feel like we don't emotionally prepare ourselves enough. especially for the academic show. Because when you get to America, there's nothing like the train doesn't stop for you. It get going. You have to adjust to so many things. So I feel like we should be emotionally, we should be prepared for everything, and we have this fancy how should I even say it? We always have this preconceived notion that, oh, when you come to America, everything will fall into place. You are a student, give yourself grace. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. So take your time, and definitely everything will fall into place. The journey is definitely hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. Me, I always tell you, it's hard. There are days you will cry, you will even be depressed without knowing. Like at times, yeah. But definitely there's light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah. That is what I would say.
Yeah, there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's one person I forgot to share his content. His name is Kingsford Onyina. Kingsford Onyina actually inspired me to start this whole YouTube thing. So shout outs to Kingsford Onyina. And if you've not subscribed to his channel, you have to. Let me share that real quick. So this is the platform of Kingsford Onyina. He has amazing videos on YouTube interviewing visa officers. He has one of the videos that I love most, how to search for schools in the US, so that people who keep on asking, how do I get a scholarship to this school, go and watch Kingsford Onyina's YouTube videos. He has a lot of them. If you finish watching his videos, you should be able to work on this process on your own. If you want to come and teach in the US, there is a brother called Teacher Note, and we've had Teacher Note on before. He has amazing content about studying, about teaching, almost everywhere in the world. So Teacher Note, follow him on Facebook as well. He has a YouTube channel. Go check it out. All right, the name has been The Fred Effect. It's been great having you on. Ben, any final words for us? Your microphone is muted. You have to unmute it. Okay, so Ben is trying. Right, go ahead. Please go on.
Yes, I have two issues. The first one has to do some few clarification. So please, one thing I want you to take notice that when it comes to the UK visa application, always they fix in health insurance. So you pay your health insurance in advance. So what it means is that if you enter into the UK today, you can go and register with a GP with any health issues and you'll be attended to. And that's one of the reasons why UK visa application is always on the high. So you have to take note of that. Having said that, I just want you to understand that, this year, our thinking is we are also working on the mindset as well. So we are trying to bring in some few life issues that you have to understand to make this process easier for you. Now, today, the challenge I want to throw for you is judge yourself. What do I mean by that? After you have been able to write your statement of purpose, write your CV, everything, ask yourself that if you are the admission officer, based on this document, are you going to give yourself the admission? Listen to yourself doing visa interview. And then ask yourself that, assuming you are the visa officer and you have heard these words, will you approve such a person? This is one way to overcome the challenges, or one of the ways to be successful in the process that we are doing. Judge yourself. Instead of sitting somewhere talking about somebody that will never take you anywhere, just have personal assessment. Understand what you're doing and be as objective as you can. It's not just about you submitting the application, but it's about making sure that if you are to be the admission officer, are you going to give full scholarship to such a person submitting the application you want to submit? That is the question or the challenge I want to throw for you. So in the course of you beginning, or even wherever you have got into in this process, this week, this month, the challenge is judge yourself, assess yourself, ask yourself that if I am the admission officer, with this admission I am submitting, am I going to give the person full scholarship? And I'm sure if you have this mindset and if you're able to answer it objectively, it can really affect the outcome of your application. Thank you very much for always tuning into the Fred Effect. God willing, we shall meet next week with another fantastic episode.
Thank you very much, Ben. So at the moment, the Techie Government Scholarship is currently open. So the Techie Bezalary, they have a strange name for it, but it's currently open. They accepted applications from January 10th, from today to February 20th. So more than a month and a week for you to apply. So I'll be sharing the screen real quick. It makes it easier. So if you are interested in applying for the Techie Government Scholarship, you should start your preparation now. And they have a 5-step process. They have a 5-step process you have to follow to be able to apply for this scholarship. I'm going to share that real quick with you. So the Techie Scholarship 2026. Let's see if I can. Okay, good. Let me share my screen. It makes it easier. So the Techie Scholarship, this is a scholarship in Techie, right? And then they are open from January 10th. If you can see my screen, it's application data from January 10th to 20th January 2026, and they have a 5-step you should follow. If you go to how to apply, it explains the 5 steps you can follow to apply. Let me quickly share that. So these are the 5 steps to follow. You have to create a personal account on the Techie Scholarship system, and if you just Google the Techie Scholarship 2026, it will pop up. Then you list your dream universities in Techie you want to study in. After reviewing all the stages and documents, approve your application, upload all the documents, and write original intent of applying to this. These are the required documents. You should have a valid ID. This could be your passport, a photograph of the candidate taken within the last 1 year, which is a passport size photograph, national exams result, if there is any diploma or your transcript, and certificate. If you have taken the SAT, the GRE, that's absolutely fine if it is required by the school you're applying to. And then international language test, that is if you're not from an English-speaking country, because the program will be taught in English. And a proposal of research, that is for only those who are applying for a PhD. So this is for undergraduate, master's, and then a PhD application. That's the Techie Government Scholarship, January 10th today until February 20th. You have like a month to put in this application. It's been a great session. Thank you for tuning in. I encourage you to always be positive and know that everything will be fine. We shared some universities waiving application fee that you can apply to in the US at the beginning of the session. Remember, this session will still be live across all the Fred Effect social media platforms. If you want to talk to the Fred Effect, it's simple. Send us an Instagram message. It's the Fred Effect. It's verified. We have over 28,000 family members on Instagram. We have the biggest Study Abroad content platform, right? So on YouTube, we are around 180. On TikTok, we are over 200,000. And on Facebook, we are over 150,000. So it's the biggest platform when it comes to studying abroad. And we have built this over years with confidence, with, enough study abroad information, with encouraging words. And we've done this over the years with a lot of experiences as well. If you want to talk to the Fred Effect, it's simple. Like I said, you send us a direct message. If you have a high school qualification you want to study abroad, just send us your results on Instagram. If you have a bachelor's, a diploma, you want to study a master's or PhD, send us your transcript on our Instagram handle. We are not just giving you information. We are extending a helping hand to also support you to go through the process. We are not complaining about you sending us messages. We are going to respond to them. Just send us a message on Instagram. You can just send us a hi. That's absolutely fine. It's okay. We'll respond to that. So it's been a great session. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to meet next week. Please be positive and know that everything will be